I want to talk to you about a very important topic that a lot of people online within our community does not seem to know, and it's about conservation. If you have, depending on the county or where you're located, I know within my particular county, if you have at least 10 acres, you can put your property under conservation. And here is why conservation is so important. There's three basic reasons. There's social, economic, environmental reasons why you should consider putting your land under conservation. I'm going to go check on Dad so he can help add to the conversation. Dad, I was just telling them, Look at Dad, y'all.
There's a whole lot of people have machetes. You know? Hey man, I got the machete.
But Dad, guess what?
What?
I was talking to them about conservation. And can you tell them a little bit about the animals that we see on the property?
Oh man, the animals that we see on the property are deers, armadillos, possum, coon, a whole variety of birds.
Especially the turkeys.
Yeah, the turkeys. The deers mostly come out at night, and the possum and the coon. You know, in the morning, early in the morning, late in the evening, that's when you see the armadillos. You know.
Yes.
And we have seen a couple snakes on the property, but you know, the snakes that we seen was poisonous.
Dad, you forgot one of my favorites. Turtles.
Oh, turtles.
There's a whole bunch of turtles.
Yeah.
So Dad, I was talking to them about the importance of conservation and what it does for three main topics, which is the economic aspect of it, the environmental, and also the social aspect of conservation. We just listed the type of animals that we see on the property all the time, and you know, our main ones are definitely the deer, but we also have a lot of raccoons and armadillos and also possums. So what we're doing right now is putting this video together for you so we could discuss the importance of conservation and why you should definitely consider it. One important thing is the tax, remember?
Yeah. If you put your property under conservation, you save a whole lot of money, you know, and less headache. There's a whole lot of people in the community, especially in people of color, don't understand about conservation. They buy like 10, 15, 20 acres of land and just sitting there and they're paying all their taxes. But if you're not utilizing the land, put it in conservation, you know?
Right.
Cut out like 5 acres for your personal agriculture and put the rest of it in conservation for you don't have to pay all that property tax, you know? Because I'm telling you, when you get older and that money is not coming in, you're going to catch puberty here, you know, and might wind up losing your property. So make sure you
reach out to your county and find out if you have 10 or more acres, whether or not you can put your property under conservation.
And another thing with your children, talk with your children about to remind you around tax time. When you get older, there's a whole lot of things you forget about. And make sure that your kids be on top of your property tax, because in the state of Georgia, it don't take but 1 year, you know, you be behind in your property taxes and somebody could take your property away from you. And you don't want that headache.
Okay.
So property taxes are very, very important. Conservation is even more important.
Right.
Okay?
So Dad, what do you get ready to do with the machete?
Well, what I'm planning on doing the machete is I'm gonna slice some apples up for our woodland friends, the deers, at night. So we're gonna make a pile of apples and see what they're gonna do. Either gonna eat them or what. So we're gonna have that on camera for y'all.
Yeah, let's see how long it takes.
Yeah.
So like we said, we do appreciate the wildlife and we don't want to disrupt it, and that's why we have conservation. Another part of conservation is what else we said? The social aspect, because the more that you till the land, keep working the land, the more that you have to deal with erosion and other issues where it takes away the value of the property. So you don't want to deal with like pollution and also erosion. So it's better to, if you have land that you're not using, and we have several acres that we're not using, so we utilize the conservation effort for that. And for me, it was important during our search when Dad was helping me search for property. Everybody does it differently, but for me, what I wanted was to get land that was not under conservation, so that we can later subdivide it and put the portions that we wanted to have under conservation.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think that's the best deal to do.
I mean, because there was like 20 acres that I was looking at that was a little bit flatter than this, but they only allowed for me to build one house and one cottage. But with this particular property, because it wasn't under conservation, I was able to subdivide, and now I can build 2 houses and 2 cottages.
Yeah.
So that's another benefit to not purchasing the land when it's under conservation, and just put it under conservation yourself.
And how about the frontage? The frontage of the property?
Oh, the road frontage matters too. So we have over 400 feet of road frontage, and that also enables us to be able to put multiple dwellings on the property.
And have our privacy too.
Yeah, that's the most important part.
Privacy.
So we can protect our culture, protect our privacy. We made sure we had enough road frontage and enough acres to do the things that we want to do with our family.
And another thing, if we decide to have a family get together or some friends over, we don't have to worry about the BS with the neighbors. The people could park on our property, close the gates, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And do our thing.
Exactly. So it's any kind of get together, be it for agriculture or for personal.
Mm-hmm.
So let me cover in more detail about the importance of putting your farm or your property under conservation. Agriculture land, which makes a significant portion of the Earth's surface, plays an important role in biodiversity and water management and soil health. By placing your land under conservation, farmers and landowners not only protect the environment, but also ensure long-term productivity and economic stability and resilience to climate change. Some people don't believe in climate change, but we're one of the people that do. So as far as the environmental benefits, one of the primary reasons for placing the farm under conservation is to have a positive impact on the environment. Modern farming practices use a lot of pesticides, and we overtill sometimes, and that leads to significant environmental issues. These practices can erode the soil, deplete water resources, and contribute to loss of biodiversity. Another reason under the environmental portion of protecting the property and putting it under conservation is conservation programs lead to creating wildlife habitats on farmlands. And by planting native vegetation and creating buffer zones or establishing wildlife corridors, farmers like myself can help protect endangered species and promote biodiversity. This not only enhances the balance of our ecosystem, but it also supports pollination, such as with the bees, which are essential for crop production.